And because you place that expectation, until you release it, the universe isn't going to bring it to you. Hello and welcome to the Feminine as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, Monica Yates, a period and women's life coach, where I help women to harness the power of their period and connect back to their true superpowers. In these episodes, we'll be talking about all things periods, vaginas, hormones, women's health, sex, confidence, food, femininity, and all the stuff that goes through our heads. You will walk away from each episode with new nuggets and truth bombs, as I don't seem to have a filter and I love talking about all the shit that people are too afraid to say, but everyone is thinking. Ladies, oh my God, I'm so excited to be back. I'm feeling all the high vibes. I'm currently sitting in a bougie fucking hotel room in New York City, which is, this episode's gonna just be about manifestation and life stuff, and, you know, achieving your dreams and living life to the fullest and all that fun stuff, because boy, oh boy, am I experiencing that, and it wasn't always like this. And I want to tell you guys how I got here and invite you to start thinking about how you could, you know, up-level your life for the better as well. And this isn't like a how-to guide, because ultimately with manifestation, there is no how. There's surrender. There's trust. So you actually can't plan out a how. There was no how for me to get here. So firstly, I just want to say excuse any background noise. Like, we're in New York City, so there could be tooting, construction, noise, all that jazz, but I feel like that's just part of the fun vibes. So it's 8:30 in the morning here, and I had a good sleep. I flew in last night. A bit of a drama with not a drama, but like with the airplanes. And I always see the positive. I've trained my brain to see the positive. So like, to me, nothing negative happened at all. But I flew business on the long leg from Sydney to, so this whole trip, actually, let me just start from the beginning. I manifested this trip. This is the second trip this year that I've already come to New York. So I came to New York for Feb and March, like the crossover time, was here for 2 weeks and a week in LA. Actually a week in Lake Tahoe with my soul sister Jords. And if you haven't checked out her food brand, I'm going to plug it right now. Mingle Seasoning, get on it. Your life isn't worth living if you're not already cooking with her seasonings. I actually have some of her stuff packed in my bag. Anyway, I'm so excited to show you guys how I travel and eat healthy, because I am like so effing creative when it comes to my food, and I'm just pumped for you to like see it. And if you're watching this like way later than when it was initially posted, I'll make sure I pop it in a highlight on my Instagram feed, so you can go and check it out. I'll make a highlight for it. Anyway, what I was going to say was, I was here already this year, and I'd booked the tickets on my way, we were sitting in LA flying back to Sydney in March, and I booked a ticket to come back to New York for August and September. I was going to come beginning of August and stay till the very beginning of October before I flew back to Sydney to then do my retreat with my beautiful girl Asti in Byron Bay. If you guys haven't already checked out the Bougie Ass Bitches retreat, you must get on that shit. It is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm so fucking pumped, and I'm just like, it's just going to be an explosive 6 days or 5 days. And actually, it's not even a retreat, it's an immersion. Think about it like going to Tony Robbins, but it's more intimate, and like women and sexuality and confidence and femininity and activating your body and releasing the childhood wounds and all that. Basically, just think Monica and Asti jam all of our shit together and you get that. It's going to be fucking explosive, and I cannot wait. And I'm already so pumped for the ladies that have said yes to themselves. And if you are listening to this in real time, the early bird offer ends very end of April, and you get 5K off. So you probably want to jump on that shit, just saying. Anyway, so I'm just like super excited for that. So I was going to come back in August, September, right? That was like my quote unquote plan, right? But this is the beauty of being so fucking in alignment and such high vibe all the time. It means that this shit that happened faster. Like, I came back faster than when I anticipated, right? I planned to come back later in the year, and here I am next minute, fucking like 2 months later, not even 2 months later, March, April. Not even 2 months later, I'm back in New York City, right? So unexpected, because I had my leg surgery. And if you don't know what my leg surgery is, I've got a YouTube video on why I had to have another leg surgery. So I was not, like, logistically speaking, it was not feasible for me to come back in April, because I just had leg surgery. Like, I need to be at home resting. I need to be looking after myself. I need to be doing rehab stuff. But anyway, I was on a panel I've been in Melbourne for a month for my leg surgery, and I was on a panel there whilst I was in Melbourne, and we were talking about femininity and blood and menstruation and just, all the good stuff that I love talking about. And it was just so effing juicy. And I was just like, oh my God, I really need to do more public speaking stuff. I love public speaking. It is my jam. Like, I want to be doing my goal and like something that I'm really working towards, but also not really like figuring out the how and logistics. I just know it's going to happen when it needs to happen, is doing massive events like Tony Robbins size sort of stuff. It just like lights me up. Like, it's just, I fucking love public speaking, and I always have. I've always been the girl at school that I hated doing the essay assignments, but I loved doing oral presentations. I just love it. Anyway, and so I did this panel, and I hadn't really been manifesting or working on how to do more public speaking, just because I knew I didn't need to figure out how. I knew if I kept showing up and I kept putting in the aligned action, it was just going to come, and I wasn't going to have to work at like, how was I going to do my public speaking? I knew I didn't have to worry about it, and it was going to happen. So anyway, after that panel, the next morning I was writing my manifestations in the morning. I always write 3 things I'm grateful for. I tell this to all my clients: 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you're manifesting, right? Because before you manifest, you need to be grateful so you can get yourself into that high vibrational energy. And if you're not already grateful, then you can't manifest. Anyway, so I was writing down my things, and I was saying how grateful I was of the panel and how much fun it was. And then I was manifesting that I was ready and I was open to calling in more speaking opportunities. And I was, what did I actually write? I'm actually going to go get my journal. One second, ladies, because I actually want to tell you exactly what I wrote, just because, you know me, I like to keep shit really authentic. I was doing an Instagram live last night, and some of you are asking what I use to edit my stuff, like my podcast episodes. And I was like, I don't edit my podcast episodes. They're so raw. Like, now I'm walking over to the window right now, actually, because there's like a breeze coming in and it's really cold and the window's open. That's why. Hold on a sec, ladies. Oh, it's not working. Oh, there we go. I twisted the handle the wrong way. Okay, we're back. We are back. Yeah, I keep shit so authentic. You ladies know that. I'm not about editing stuff all the time. There's obviously a place and time for editing. Like today, I'm actually going to do a whole pile of early bird videos for the girls that sign up early bird to BABA, which is my Badass Bitches Academy. Again, I'll put the link in the description. I need to like remember the links that I actually write in this thingy, because I feel like I always say link, and then people message me being like, Monica, there's no link for it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not even surprised. Okay, so we've got link for BABA. Beautiful. And then I'll also do the link for my YouTube on my ski accident. So I'm just writing this down on some sexy, it's actually very nice paper. It's like, instead of, you know how normally when you go to a hotel, you get like those little pads? This is like really beautiful, like A4 paper. You know when you go to the library and then you print, or like you go to a printing shop and you just print on their quote unquote normal paper, but it's like fucking 50 times better than actual paper that you'd print at home. That's what I'm vibing right now. I fucking love it. All the bougie vibes. Anyway, what was I going to say? So let me find exactly what I wrote. Oh yeah, my academy, I'll put the link in and you can read it. Basically, it's for business women. If they want to have a thriving business. Lol, who doesn't want to have a thriving business? Okay, what was I going to say? Okay, so where is it? I'm literally trying to find exactly what I wrote. Okay, so I said that I was grateful for being at last night's panel. I was grateful to be able to lead so many amazing women in my job. Grateful for the universe bringing somebody new into my life. And then I literally was like, I am calling in more speaking opportunities. And then guess what? This is the amazing thing. So that was Tuesday morning that I wrote that down. Tuesday night, I get a message from Kiara. She was looking for a last speaker for Bold Leap Live, her event in New York City, which is starting tomorrow for 3 days. And she was like, but you're in Australia, like, would you actually? And as soon as she sent that message of, would you actually come? My ego was like, yes, stupid Monica. Why the fuck would you fly all over there? Like, she was like, there's no compensation. And ego was like, yep, stupid. And my soul was like, I'm coming. Like, I'm fucking coming. And my ego was so in my head. And now because I have the tools, I don't listen to it and it's fine. It goes away. Oh, my ego was in my head. Like, it was trying to be like, what if the plane explodes? What if something happens? Like, it was trying to make me stay in my comfort zone, because logistically speaking, I just had leg surgery. I was meant to fly home, and I wanted to fly home so I could see somebody important. And I then was going to have to basically fly home for 2 days, up and leave. And I already had been in Melbourne away from that person for a month. And so that was annoying. And obviously he was a bit annoyed and I was a bit annoyed because of that. Anyway, so there was all these logistical things that were like, yeah, like shouldn't go, logistically it's not okay. And Sol was like, fucking get your ass there, Monica. So I just could not believe it that morning, actually I could believe it, that morning I wrote down that I'm calling in more speaking opportunities. Next minute, I couldn't exactly have gotten a fucking better one in New York City, had to fly all the way over. And like I had been dreaming about this moment of like, from a little girl, I remember I'd be sitting on a plane with my family and be like, oh, I just can't wait for the day where I'm like working corporate, lol, and like traveling and staying in nice hotels. Like was just so excited for that. And little did I know it was going to be 50 times better than that. Like I wasn't going to be working corporate. I was going to be serving women. I was going to be changing fucking lives. I was going to be having the time of my life. Like everything was going to be so easy. Like who fucking knew? Obviously the universe, and my soul did know. But that's sort of why I'm in New York and how I got here. So booked a ticket. I actually was like fucking queen vibes, bougie. I was like, I'm flying business. I got my Virgin business seat. And got my business seat. I didn't fly business the whole way. I just flew business that first leg, although regrets. So I flew business from the 14-hour bit from Sydney to LA, which was just lovely. There was two reasons. One, I wanted to make sure that when I arrived here, I wasn't going to have jet lag. I was going to be feeling good because I need to show up as my best self, obviously. So that means I need to invest in myself so I can show up as my best self. And then also, and like, fuck, why not? Like you're allowed to treat yourself like a queen. And then also with my leg, I was like, my leg needs to be up. It needs to be straight. I don't want it getting stiff. I obviously can't get physio while I'm here. So I was like, I booked a business seat for the first leg. And then the second leg, like Delta flights are like, Delta's just like, I feel like any American airline that's just like crap compared to Australian Airlines. And Delta like first class is like fucking gross. Like to me, I'm just like, hell no, like I'm not spending an extra $4,000 to fly that. So I didn't fly the second leg because it's the 5-hour flight. I didn't fly the 5-hour. I didn't fly the second leg from LA to New York. However, slight regrets because I was so exhausted by the time I got to LA, and then I had to wait in LA for 4 hours because our initial flight was running late from Sydney, so I missed my connecting flight, and they put me on a different flight, and they could only get me on the flight 4 hours after we landed, and I was just like, oh my God, fuck. Anyway, so I was so tired, I could barely keep my eyes open. So I was trying to fall asleep, and then, oh my God, I thought I fell asleep for 4 hours on the plane, and I was like, fuck yes, like only one more hour, and I'd only fallen asleep for an hour and a half, and I was like, oh my God, fuck. I actually didn't get that much sleep on the first flight just because it wasn't nighttime, it was during our day. I got a bit of sleep, but it wasn't an amazing amount, but I'm feeling really good today. Anyway, total side note. So got here, checked in last night. I did a quick Instagram live, as some of you would have seen. And now today I'm going to get a pile of work done, run some errands, go buy something very, very exciting that I've also been waiting my whole life to fucking buy. And I will talk about that in another episode, I'm sure. Or do an Instagram story. I'll do an Instagram story. And that's sort of how I got here and what I'm doing here. So it's really fucking exciting, and I manifested this whole thing. So super fucking just blown away by it all. So let's talk about manifestation, shall we? So firstly, I don't even know where I was going with all of that. I've got a pile of questions that you ladies have popped in to the question box that I put on my Instagram story last night, which is amazing, and I'm really excited to jump through them all because I just find it a bit easier when you guys let me know what you want to be discussed. But the beauty of manifestation is that you can't find how, right? So for example, when I manifested speaking opportunities, I wasn't looking into a how because my soul knew it was going to happen. And when you're in this high vibrational energy, these things become a match for you because they are operating at that high vibe. When you are down fucking in like victim town, you can't expect that you're going to be manifesting amazing opportunities, manifesting money, right? Because those things are at a high vibrational energy. And the law of attraction states that you need to be a match for those things. So that's why, for example, really basic example, when you start going on a negative downward spiral, you go on a spiral because negative attracts negative. So as in not actually negative, like I know there's polarity, but I'm saying that low vibrational energy is going to attract more things of that low vibrational energy. So more negative thoughts which is what creates the downward negative spiral. But if you start thinking about the positive, you're going to create the positive upward spiral. Oh, that's what I was going to say before about my flight. So like when I got off at JFK, it took so long to get our bags. There was a mechanical issue on the plane and they couldn't get our bags off. And of course, it's very funny noticing this. So many people are like, oh my God, and like so angry. And the first thing that pops into my head is, wow, how grateful are we that we weren't on the plane when there was a mechanical issue? Or how grateful are we that all the mechanical issue is that they can't get our fucking bags off the plane. And it's not that like the plane can't fly when we were in it in the sky. And it's really about rewiring these beliefs. And it's the same thing in business. Like if you are working on your business or working on your life and all you see is the negative, don't expect to attract positive things. Like it's not fair for you and the universe if you are expecting to be attracting all these positive things. Meanwhile, you're fucking negative Nancy in the corner having a hissy fit. It just literally makes no common sense. Anyway, so with manifestation, it's all about that law of attraction and about getting into the high vibrational energy. So thinking about the things that get you in that high vibe. So for me, it's staying in nice places. It's treating myself like an effing queen, because we are all allowed to treat ourselves like a queen. This mentality that we're not allowed, or that money equals greed, or that money is, rich people are mean people, is bullshit, because poor people can be mean people too. So you're actually just you're making words out of a meaning, but that's not what greed actually means. Greed does not mean you want more money. Greed is you never being satisfied with what you already have, okay? And this is an important note, because if you want to attract more, you've got to be satisfied. You've got to be so happy and so grateful for what you already have. Rich people aren't sitting there going, more, 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 more. They are in a vibrational energy of abundance. So they are attracting more, and they are in alignment. So they're attractive. Of course, this is also mass generalization, because there's going to be people out there, and I'm going to name it right now. Whoever is in charge of Adani, which is, if you're not in Australia, it's like this coal mine in Australia. I'm just like, universally, how the fuck is that even allowed? Because it is disgusting. It is so against Mother Nature. Like we are fucking ruining our environment. And this is even part of manifestation. If you are not looking after Mother Earth, if you're not looking after yourself and the people around you, how the fuck can you expect the universe to look after you and bring you in more things? So if you are staying in a fucking dingy hotel because you're being a tight ass and not allowing yourself to stay somewhere reasonable or really nice because you're afraid of spending money, then don't expect yourself to feel amazing, right? Because you are the product of your internal and external environment. It's like the saying of you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So right now, who are some people in those 5 people that are toxic as fuck that you need to get out of your life from a loving place? Not because you're being a mean person, but because you're actually caring about yourself and your well-being. And frankly, they need to just care about themselves. And maybe sometimes the best thing you can do for somebody is to say no, and to say that what their behavior is unacceptable, so that they can actually learn for themselves. Itchy boob, sorry, I'm just scratching, in case you can hear that. Anyway, so with manifestation, you have to release the how. Even somebody asked last night, how'd you get to 6 figures? If you haven't listened to, that'll be my next episode. I'm going to put my Facebook Live up as a podcast. Again, there's no how. Like there really is no how. It was like, alignment, it was energy work, it was clearing my vessel, it was all the stuff I do with the girls in the academy. That's why I created it. That's how I got to 6 figures. It was no logistics, no plan. The most plan that I have is a Trello board with to-do things, legit, and like my 500 other to-do lists that I keep randomly scattered around. Like that's as much strategy as I do. Everything comes from my womb. Everything comes from soul alignment. And I'm really excited to jam on this at Bold Leap Live on Sunday when I'm talking. I'm really fucking excited. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into the questions straight away, because it's already 20 minutes in and there's so many questions here, and I feel like this is going to give me a way better sort of basis to go off with manifestation, because I want to make sure that obviously a notification just came up saying Bold Leap Live tomorrow. Ooh. I want to make sure that I'm answering all your questions. So the first question is discussion on courage to leap into the unknown and silence fear, career/study changes. Oh, yes. So I can tell you right now, just from that message and just from like, I'm just getting the energy from you, let's ask this, is you obviously want to change. You fucking know in your soul that what you're currently doing isn't in alignment. So you have two options: to listen to your ego and listen to that fear of like, what will happen if I change in terms of negative? What if, the negative, what if? Or you have the opportunity to go, my soul is giving me a niggle. I need to follow that if I want a better life for myself in the long term. And remember, ladies, we're playing the long-term game, not the short term. So to leap into the unknown, hello, I had to do it. I tuned in with my soul. It was like, okay, so what am I actually afraid of? My ego is afraid. Okay, so what I'm actually afraid of is I'm afraid that it might not be the right decision, like as if it wouldn't be the right decision, but whatever. That was one thing that came up of like, oh, like what if it isn't that fun? And it's like, well, at least you would have gone and you would have found out, rather than sitting at home being like, oh, should I have gone? Oh my God, it looked like so much fun, blah, blah, blah. And like, of course it's going to be so much fucking fun. Why the hell wouldn't it be fun? It would only not be fun if I walked in there with the energy of like, this isn't going to be fun, and it is going to be fun. So that's something that came up. Another thing that came up was like, oh, but like my leg. And it's like, okay, so logistically not the best thing, but how can I work around this? Well, I can make sure I'm doing my exercises. I will massage as much as I can. I will stretch it out as much as I can, all that jazz. And I also trust that by being in a high vibrational state, my leg is going to heal better and it's going to be okay, right? Rather than me be like, oh, damn it, I should have gone, should at home. And then that's not even going to help my healing anyway, because it's going to be more low vibrational energy, which of course, that energy is in my body and that's not going to help the healing process. So that was another reason of like my ego was like, oh, you should stay small. Another one was that I was then spending longer away from somebody special, and that was also not ideal because I'd already spent a month away from him. But again, I was like, but I've got to trust that this is the right thing. I've got to trust that the universe has my back and has put this at this time because it needs to happen. Like, why else would somebody from the other side of the world, like as far as you can get from New York, why would that person come to this event if they weren't soul aligned? And like Kiara was like, I have so many people in New York that will like make more quote unquote sense, but my gut is saying I need you. And so for both of us, it was this gut soul womb, like, need to do this. And so it was like, fuck it, let's do it. And like, that's why I always like to say, fuck it. Like, what have I got to lose? All that I'm quote unquote losing is money. However, this energetic exchange is invaluable, right? I spend money coming here, buying stuff here, being here. But at the same time, I am getting experience. I'm getting new friendships. I'll be signing new clients, no doubt. I will be getting new people, being inspired by me and me being able to serve new people. And that is an energetic exchange. And the bottom line is money comes back. Money comes back. This investment will come back to me sixfold, right? In more ways than I can't even fathom right now. And I know that in my gut. So why would I hold myself back because it's going to cost me X amount of money for me to come over here, have 10 days in a hotel, blah, blah. That is so limiting to my potential growth, right? If I'm so my new goal for this year, initially, my goal for this year was 100K, and I've already knocked that one out of the park. So my new goal for this year, which in my head is like, fuck, how the hell are you going to get this? But whether I get it or not, it doesn't matter. It's this new stretch that I want to have just sitting there, and I'm going to quantum leap to it. And I know that I'll hit it. But of course, the same thing's happening in my brain with even what happened with the 100K of like, how? I don't know. So now my new goal for this year is 400K. And remember, ladies, if this is triggering you of like, fuck, what a greedy bitch, she wants 400K. This is not about being greedy. This is about transformation. If I make 400K, I made $400,000 worth of transformation and added $400,000 collectively to women's lives. That is fucking amazing, right? So that's what I always focus on. It's like value, value, value. That's why I also don't have strategy, because strategy for me, it's like it's limiting, right? It's making me feel like I've got to like play this business game and that I'm in it for money. I'm not in it for money. I'm in it for value. Money becomes a byproduct because I'm so aligned that the money becomes this energetic exchange, this beautiful like way of me being able to then continue to stay high vibe and continue to treat myself as a queen so that I can then serve all of you, and I can then spend an hour of my morning doing a juicy podcast for you ladies, giving you valuable information for free, right? If I wasn't being able to make money, then how the hell would I be able to serve, right? The two go hand in hand, so don't forget that. So I don't know where I was going with that. But back to the question, discussion on courage to leap into the unknown and silence fear. For me, what I do is I figure out, okay, what is my ego saying? What's my soul saying? What is the worst that's going to happen? And also, like, what's the worst that's going to happen if it isn't great or whatever? But what is the best thing that could happen from this? Now, which one do I want to focus on? Because law of attraction, what you focus on, you manifest. So, of course, I'm going to focus on the positive one, not the negative one. And then I also will think to myself of like, okay, if I didn't go, how much would I be regretting that decision? A lot. At least if I go, I'm not going to regret it. And I also know it's going to be amazing. So why the fuck wouldn't I go? And why the fuck would I have said a yes and then pull out and say no, right? Ego would be saying no. Soul was not fucking saying no. Now, I will say though, a lot of this coming over here, there was a lot of trust involved, a lot of surrender, and a lot of me needing to trust that this timing, although logistically not ideal, soulfully was ideal. So I had to let go of some of the ego things that were like, and making me, I tell you what, there was a little bit of, on more of a personal level, there actually came up a little bit of resentment towards my job for a second because I was having to choose between a person and my job. And of course I chose my job, but as a woman, our first priority is connection and love and connection. And you can't be fulfilled in every other area of your life if you're not fulfilled in connection and love. So for me to be put in that position was actually quite horrendous. And I had to trust that if I chose my career, that was the right decision for this moment. Because ultimately it was 10 days away and that's not a deal. That shouldn't be a deal breaker. Anyway, which hasn't been. So what was I going to say? So I hope that helps. So the next question, and you just have to trust. Like I've got trust tattooed on my fucking ribs. You have to trust. How do you know what your flow is and how to know, sorry, the next question, ladies. How to know what your flow is and how to know when you are in flow, like the beginning steps. You will know when you're in flow. So flow, alignment, bliss, enlightenment, they are all kind of grouped up into a similar thing, a similar bubble. Your flow is when you aren't hungry and you're not hungry when you're working away and you don't get hungry, you don't get tired, you are on 4 hours sleep and you still pull energy out of thin fucking air. When you feel so alive and at ease with everything and everything just feels so fucking right, that is your flow. When things are hard and pushy, you're not in a state of flow. You're in the masculine. You're in like hustle. You're in head. You're in your head and you are, hold on, I need a sip of my green tea. You're in your head and you're driving and you're pushing and that's not a state of flow. So that's what your flow is. So my flow is my job. My flow is talking. It's serving. It's like right now I'm in flow. I don't have a script or anything. I've got my phone out with your questions on it. This is my state of flow when I'm doing work, when I'm with my clients, when I'm on my Instagram, when I'm writing Instagram posts. It's all from a state of flow. There's literally no agenda to this stuff at all. Like there is no agenda at all. It's just that when I'm in a state of flow, I create magnetic attraction. And like my content is magnetic because I'm in a state of flow and that's what attracts you ladies to me and what attracts my clients to me. Next question. Can you do a step-by-step on how to manifest? There is no how. Like how to write out intentions and stick to them. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so a step-by-step. So basically, I'll run this over really quickly and I'll probably have to do another episode on this one. How to manifest. So I go through this in great detail in my mastermind and also in my new program. And if you haven't listened to the last episode, make sure you go listen to that and then sign up for the new little hint thing. So with manifestation, you can't figure out how to get there. You have to do your gratefulness first, and then you need to think about what you are desiring. And you've got to be in a state where you already have it. You already feel it. That's where the big quantum leaping comes in as well. That's a whole nother level. But with just manifesting, so I write down the 3 things I'm grateful for. And then the 3 things I'm manifesting. Now, when I write them, I don't think to myself, how is this going to happen? This is stupid. You can't manifest with limiting beliefs in the way. So you've got to do the work, and that's why this work's really important. You've got to do the work where you get your limiting beliefs and your ego out of the way. So when you're manifesting, you're not like, yeah, like the fuck's, like your brain's not like, yeah, like the fuck's that gonna, like how's that gonna happen? As if you can get that, you're not worth that, you don't deserve that. You've got to get all that out of the way in order for you to manifest and actually get it, right? So then you'll write down what you want to manifest, and you don't say I want, because then you're still in that mentality of you don't already have. The bottom line is everything that you can already think of, you already have in another realm. So you've already got it. So you need to be in this mindset of I already have it. You just right now want to bring it into your human experience, into seeing, touching, feeling with your human body as opposed to your soul. So that's all manifestation is, right? You're just bringing it down into like your 3D world as opposed to 5D. And so you'll write down your manifestations, and when you write them down, you've got to believe they've already happened, they've done, dusted. So you'll write them down, and then I close my book, and I don't flick back and go, oh my God, it hasn't happened yet, it's done, it has happened, it's coming. And you have to trust and then surrender. So the surrender and the trust is really important. And then, of course, taking aligned action. So let's say, for example, that you want to manifest, a partner, right? Well, you can't then every day be hating on yourself, throwing a pity party, not going out with friends, saying no to social arrangements, and being like in a victim mentality all the time, because that's not exactly going to fucking attract somebody. It might attract somebody that's also toxic, but it's not going to attract your dream man. So you need to start acting as if and being in the energy as though that manifestation's already happened. And then how to stick to them. Well, there shouldn't be any sticking to them. Like if they're still aligned, you don't have to work at sticking to them. They've already happened. They're in your soul. It sounds like if you're trying to stick to them, then it's like you're more like using willpower. That's not manifestation. That's willpower. That's trying to like achieve some dumb diet goal or something. Okay. The next question is energy matching. So I think what you mean by that is becoming a match to those things that you want to bring into your world. And this is really this is a very good question. So for example, if you want to be a match for like love and abundance and money and that sort of stuff, you need to be at a very high vibrational frequency. So one, you've got to get rid of the blocks, the shit in your body, the trauma, the childhood wounds, all that stuff, the limiting beliefs. You got to get rid of all of that in order for your vessel to be clear so that you can be in the high vibrational energy. If you're like trying to do all the high vibe shit, but at the same time you've got all these childhood wounds, it's going to drag you down, especially in your soul, right? So then you're not going to be able to attract them as easily. So firstly, you got to get rid of all of that stuff. Then you've got to do the things that will get you into the high vibrational energy. So for me, it's like Pilates, it's exercise, it's journaling, it's meditating, it's dancing, it's having baths, it's staying in really nice hotels, it's doing really, really high vibe things. So I will then be doing all of those sort of things all the time. Then I become an energy match, right? That's why these things manifest so easily now. And they didn't always manifest. I wasn't always able to manifest things as easily, but now I can because I'm always in a high vibrational energy. It doesn't mean that I have a 2-hour-long morning routine every morning. It means I'm doing little things throughout the day to keep me high vibe, but also because my body isn't bogged down by childhood crap, it's not hard for me to stay high vibe. So that's how you become a match for the things you want to attract in your life. Okay, next question. Do you work on manifestation daily? What practices do you use? Oh, hi, Em. So we've done, this is in the mastermind. And what I said in the mastermind, Emma, basically, how I said the 3 gratitude, 3 manifestations, and everything else I mentioned, that's all I do. So I don't do some crazy, let's get my menstrual blood and paint with it. If that's your thing, fucking go for it. And I would recommend, if you ladies haven't really gotten in touch, as in feel, with your menstrual blood, fucking do it. Get into that witchy vibes, because when you become really connected with the fucking power that's running through your body, it helps connect you more to soul and more to your innate wisdom. So what practices do I do? Literally, I will do my high vibe stuff. So I'll be dancing. I will be acting as if. I will be, doing my reprogramming tracks that I give you girls in my programs. And if you're a one-on-one, I do them. I do long meditation as well. I've been trying to do a 1 hour meditation at least once a week because I find that fucking amazing. Super healing, really, really deep. I'll write in my journal 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things I'm manifesting. And then some days I will actually just write a massive journal entry. Other days I forget, and I don't beat myself up if I forget. What else do I do? I'm really good at acting as if. I always will say positive things, affirmations in my head. And I also release attachment to things. That's a really big one. I really release attachment to things. And that's kind of what I do for manifestation. Finding soul purpose. You can't find it. It comes to the next question, is finding soul purpose. You can't find it. It comes to you. So firstly, you need to come back to you. You need to do the work to come back to your soul, come back to alignment. So clearing all the fucking crap that you've put in your way over the time and that society and parents and childhood wounds have put in your way, come back to soul, and then it's already there. So ladies, you never are finding something external from you. You've already got the answer. So you don't need to look anywhere else. You're not finding your answers. You're coming back to your answers internally. Okay. Next question. How do you move through the money block / mindset for big overseas travels? Oh, so firstly, I always know the money's going to come back to me. Secondly, this is something I know a lot of people, especially coaches, I only fly first class, blah, blah, blah. That's fantastic. And I can't wait for me to be doing that all the time with no questions asked. But right now, I also I'm not being stingy in that way. It's just that for me personally, I prefer to stay in a very, very nice hotel. I prefer to spend the money getting a massage. I prefer to go buy new clothes than spend an extra $4,000 on a first class seat it depends on who you're flying. Some flights, their first class is business class. Some flights, they don't have a business class. It's confusing, whatever. Bottom line is, I know then there's also you can have both. You absolutely can have both, and I absolutely could have both. It's just that for me right now, I would just much rather spend that. Oh my God, there's construction happening somewhere. Sorry. I would just much rather spend that money on a really bougie hotel or on oh my God, why is there so much construction? Can you hear this? I'm really hoping that you can't. I'm going to just stop this and make sure you can't hear it. Okay, it doesn't seem like you can hear it, which is really good. I'll keep talking loudly and then it will block anything out. So you obviously can have both, and I'm not saying that you can't. It's just that I'd rather spend that $4,000 in a really, really beautiful hotel. And that's just me personally. But of course, on long haul flights, I will pay for a business class seat now because it makes me feel better, especially if I'm going somewhere for work, right? If I was going somewhere for a holiday, I'd be like, meh, I'll just buy an economy seat and I'll pay the extra for the extra leg room so I get that bulkhead seat rather than flying business because when I get there, I can chill and sleep for 2 days and lounge around and do nothing. So then it's fine. So that's totally personal preference. But if you're also wanting to really attract more abundance, and for you, this is how it might feel to do that. So I'm not going to be really naive and be like, oh, just buy the business class seat, because you also want to be financially responsible. You don't want to be irresponsible with your money because that's not respecting your money either. You've got to respect your money. So I bought the business class seat from a place of love and excitement, and I was like, fuck yes, I'm so excited. And that was the first time that I have bought a business class seat. If you're following me when I had my ski accident, I flew business class home and my insurance paid for that. And I phoned business other times when I was really, really little. But when dad flew a shit ton with his work, so he always had 1,000,001 points to use. But I've never paid for my own business class seats. It was actually a really exciting moment. And for me, it was a sign of the up level. It was a sign of this is the new me. I'm creating new standards. I'm creating a new floor for myself. So there was many reasons behind it, and it all came from a place of passion and love. If you are doing it because you're like, oh, if I do it, the money will come back, then you're creating an expectation, right? So there was no expectation when I bought this ticket of oh, if I spend this money, then it's going to come back to me a day later. There's no expectation. There's no even expectation of coming over here and signing a certain amount of clients. There's no expectation. It's all from a place of soul alignment, because if things don't happen as soon as your brain wants them to happen, it's not because the universe is no. It's more the universe is either not right now or it's something better is coming. So yeah, that's what that is. Man, this episode is going to be long, ladies. So basically, Emma, in short, how to move through your money blocks and mindset for big overseas travels. This is one thing that I always think to myself as well. It's like, life is short. Like, let's just say, gruesome example, 3 months down the road, you had 1 week to live, right? Would you regret not going on the fancy trip to Greece? Yes. Life is for living. What is the point? And you're young, Emma. So what is the point of you having so much money in your bank account or a pile of money in your bank account? Like, obviously savings are great, but like, also life is meant for you to live it, not for you to stay in your comfort zone, but have money in the bank. Because ultimately the money can disappear, but your memories and your energy and your feeling and those holidays, they don't disappear, right? They are within you forever. And even if you had a brain injury thing and then you couldn't remember, it's still within your soul. So it's there. The money, for example, it can disappear. So fucking spend it like on good things that make you feel alive, right? From a place of love. Okay, next question. I've been feeling really disconnected lately from everything. I'm not sad or happy. You need to come back to yourself. You need to come back to your soul. You're disconnected, right? So you need to put the work in to come back to alignment, because then from there you'll feel full and you will feel just bliss and enlightenment all the time. And like some days I'm not like screaming with excitement, but I'm so just fucking happy in alignment that it comes across as just like bliss. Next question, what brings you into alignment? Oh, good, next question. What brings you into alignment? Doing the work. So releasing the wounds, releasing the blocks, releasing the parent stuff, and allowing yourself to see your true energy. So doing like quantum, that's why I have my reprogramming tracks as well. Oh my God, fuck this construction. That's why I have my reprogramming tracks as well, because when you can get rid of those limiting beliefs in your brain, you then have the space for you to come back into alignment. So what brings you into alignment is you, and it's about coming back to the core of what makes you happy and what makes your soul happy. Not what is right or what you should do, but what makes your soul fucking happy. And also the dance stuff and the activating your sensuality and your creative life force energy, which is all in your sacral chakra. Doing all of that work. And that's why I love combining. I know I'm not like a sensuality coach, but I'm an everything coach, right? Because everything as a woman is so intertwined. So by activating the sensuality and that erotic version of yourself and allowing yourself to unleash your sexual energy, you will then be able to unleash that creative life force energy to bring you back into alignment and to allow yourself to feel more in your body, right? When you're in your head, you're not in alignment. When you're in your body, you're in alignment. Okay, how do you keep manifesting when you aren't next question. How do you keep manifesting when you aren't seeing the results you want to? You've got expectation right there. So there is expectation of seeing results. There's expectation of wanting it now. There's an expectation of why isn't it happening? It should be happening. And because you place that expectation, until you release it, the universe isn't going to bring it to you. So the key to manifestation, ladies, is you manifest and you release, and then all you have to do is act as if. So you got to take the aligned action, act as if, and know that it's coming, and don't wait for it to come. So right now, with that question, you're waiting for it to come. Okay, how do you manifest wealth, etc., when you have a set salary? You're limiting yourself by believing that you have a set salary. So there is a million and one ways, and I've had girls in the mastermind so many times before of like, the majority of them are on a set salary and they will manifest money out of thin air, right? They will find $50 notes on the floor outside their car. They will have, people that are paying for their mortgage all of a sudden, or people that are paying for their student loans, or other people's boyfriends have all of a sudden just like paid the whole entire course amount. Again, that's abundance. You can't think that the only way of abundance is like, oh, new money coming into my bank account. There's a million and one ways. It could be that you get to go on this amazing work trip that's paid for and it's like a holiday. It could be that, thing is, you actually can't think about what it could be. If I could think about like different options right now, but like the beauty of manifestation is the universe brings it to you in ways that you didn't think of. So like I've had one of the ladies in the first round of my mastermind, she is a single mom, and she, in terms of like logistically, it was like pretty much like impossible, like of like how is she going to manifest more money, right? And she had no money in her bank account pretty much, but she paid for the whole course in full. And like basically gave me her whole bank account because she fucking trusted herself and she backed herself and she knew in her soul that she needed to do the work. So like long story short, right? She had there was no like, how is this money going to come back? She just knew it was going to happen. And like, even after I was on the phone call to her, I was like, oh my God, universe, please, 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 please show her massive abundance. I don't know how, but you need to do it, please. Anyway, and like she got a refund or something, like she got money back from one of her son's schools, like the deposit back or something or other. And then for the new school that he was enrolled in, they waived the enrollment fee. And it meant that she could buy groceries that week. And that's just one little example of like, like nobody could have thought that that would be an example, but that's an example of the way the money came in. So, and then since our course, she's also been promoted, and so she's on a bigger salary. So you are limiting yourself by saying, how do I manifest what money when I've already got a set salary? There are so many ways for money to come in. When you are trying to think of like, oh, how could money come in? It's not going to happen. You've got to just trust that it's going to come in better ways than you could have even imagined. Hope that helps. So next question is, how do you conquer, quote, I know it's time to quit my job, but I need to pay my bills? Well, you need to just fucking do it. The best way to get rid of fear is to dive straight into it. When you don't dive straight into the fear, you feed the fear. So you are letting that fear control you and limit you from your soul-aligned life, as opposed to you taking charge of the fear and being like, no, actually, I'm going to trust myself, back myself, and believe in myself that quitting my job is the right amount of time, the right thing to do, and that the money will come. The universe always has your back, ladies, when you have your own back. Okay, so if you have your own back, the universe will have your back, right? And it will bring a way in for you to pay for the bills. Whether it's all of a sudden you meet somebody and they pay for your bills, or your parents, or like whatever it is, who knows, right? I can't think of the answers for you because I don't have the answers. The universe has the answers for the how, right? You have the answer for the why. The why is soul alignment. And it sounds like being in this job is shitty and it's limiting you. So continuing to be in that job is going to be lowering your frequency and not allowing you to be a full-on match. Okay, next question, Jacinta. Oh, how to manifest properly in life. We're going to be going through this so much in the mastermind. So I'm just going to leave that one because it's a long question and I've already done 45 minutes. And we're going to do a shit ton of that because I know that you girls want to do so much of that in this round. So what books do you recommend for learning more about feminine archetypes? Oh, I actually haven't read any books on the feminine archetypes. But I did download a book that I started reading called Witch by, I can't remember her name, but it's called Witch. It's black. It's a black book with like the words witch in white writing, and it's already so effing juicy. And that's all about the witch archetype, and I'm very embodied in the witch archetype. So that's how I got into that. But I'm actually going to do a podcast episode a bit more on the archetypes. So make sure you listen out for that one. And there's a really good website as well called Caroline Miss, MYSS, or Mice. I think it's Miss. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Mice or Miss, MYSS, Caroline. She's got so many archetypes and a great amount of information as well. But I kind of work with like 5 main archetypes, just to like keep it a little bit more like simple. Okay, next question. Can you talk more about signs of being in feminine flow in business and stuck in being in femme flow in business and stuck in masculine. I think you mean the differences. So when you're in feminine flow really quickly, and I'll do another episode, I'll write this down. Femme/masculine in business. Great question. And so really quickly, basically when you're in your feminine in business, it all comes from your womb space. So when I'm in my feminine in my business, it's all coming from this soul alignment, from it feels good. It feels like the right thing to do. It doesn't logistically make sense sometimes, but it feels fucking good. So I do that. Even when I'm creating programs, it all comes from within. All the content, all of the sales page writing, all of the prices, they all come from what feels fucking good. So So that's being in your body, right? And that's not pushing or anything. So also even with like my clients, I'm attracting clients energetically rather than like pushing on your Instagram story. It's also really important. So trusting that you've connected with their souls and that they are coming to you. And then, of course, taking that aligned action by showing up on Instagram if you use your Instagram, or doing blog posts or whatever, or going to networking events, showing up without expectation and without a hidden agenda. That's what I tell my girls all the time in the academy of, when you're showing up on Instagram, you cannot show up with like, oh, somebody fucking better DM me and get into my program. No, you have to show up because you are there to serve and you love adding value to those people's lives. You can't show up from a place of ego. Okay, and then masculine in business is all in head, right? So it would be having some strict as fuck launch strategy. It would have all of like, oh, post this many times a day at this exact time saying this exact set thing. It would be sending out like specific emails that are like so perfectly nutted out of like what is going to like suck people in. That's all very masculine, strategic, head dominant. Whereas feminine is all womb, it's body, it's sensuality, it's feeling, as opposed to the doing. Okay, next question. How do you make your way back to alignment when you're feeling burnt out as fuck? Well, the answer's in your question, isn't it? You need to get rid of that burnout. So you need to look after yourself and nourish yourself from the inside out. So that means taking the time off from work. It means filling up your soul and actually honoring that yin time. So cuddling up on the sofa, drinking warm elixirs, going to bed early, reading lots of books, and looking after yourself for that long-term goal. Short-term might be painful because you're not doing anything, but you are actually doing something. You're looking after yourself. That's doing something. If that A-type personality, it's like, no, I always got to be doing something. Relaxing is doing something. Watching TV, that's doing something. So that's what I encourage you to do. And then once you've got the energy, make sure you put in the work to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because a lot of the time people get burnt out because of deep-rooted emotional stuff. Because like I work every single day of the week pretty much. And I work like probably 14-hour days majority of the day. So I'm working all the time, but I don't get myself burnt out because I'm in alignment. So you want to make sure that you get out of the burnout, and then you do the work to make sure that you release the limiting beliefs. You do all the childhood work, the energy stuff, the mindset stuff, the sensuality, juicy things, so that you then don't have this again and again and again, and you're working from a place of soul alignment. Can you explain the whole ego thing a bit more? Oh my God, I'm actually gonna do a second part to this thing because I have like a ton more questions. So I am going to do a second part to this episode because I can't do any more. So I'm just gonna say, so ego question is, I'm just writing this down. Start here, part 2. Oh my God. So many juicy questions, ladies. I've actually fucking loved doing this episode. So I'm just going to leave that, and I'm going to then do another episode. Also because I only put this story up 9 hours ago, so I know there's going to be a ton more of you that are wanting to pop your questions in. So that's that. Okay. I think this is pretty much everything. I'm so fucking excited. If you guys haven't, if you want to do more of this work, obviously make sure that you are following my Instagram, that you join one of my next masterminds or my next hint program. So I'll put the link for my hint link for, I'm going to write the program in the description. So if you want to make sure that you're on the wait list for my hint new program, also click that link in the description box. So the next round of my mastermind starting around August, which I'm super fucking excited for. That'll be round 4. So I'm having a little bit of a break to do to launch the next round of my academy, and then also to do my new program. So if you are wanting that stuff, all the links will be in the description. Make sure that you check those out, because especially for the academy, I only take 5 women. I keep these circles very intimate so that I am giving you all so much love and attention, and because I really value that high contact point, and I want to make sure that you're all getting so much out of yourselves, and that means that I need to give you lots of my time and energy, which I love doing. So I'm only taking 5 women, and there's already 2 places full for the next round starting in August. So if you want to be in that August round, please make sure that you send me an email or a message. You can email me hello@monicayates.com.au with the subject of BABA round 2 or Academy round 2 or whatever it is, or send me an Instagram DM. I have so many DMs right now. I think I have 80 DMs to go through, so I'm going to do that today. So what was I going to say? So make sure that you've looked into that, or the next round of my mastermind, or the hint program. Also, do not forget to come to our fucking retreat. Come to the luxury immersion. Come to Bougie Ass Bitches if you want that next level in-person breakthrough transformation to get you set up for the rest of your life. Is exactly what the intention behind it is. So if that also sounds like it's, it's giving your womb a little bit of warmth, a bit of a niggle, a bit of like, oh, something is in there for me, then make sure you also check out that link, because Asti and I are so fucking excited to bring that to you. And all of our work is going to be in there for the 5 days. So it's going to be so effing juicy and all that jazz. So enrollments are open. They're always kind of open, I guess. If you're like an early bird and you're like, I need this, I don't want to miss out, then just send me a DM, because I will then I'll happily jump on a call. But of course, none of them have officially launched, because I don't really like have some crazy launch plan. I just like do it as I flow with it. So that is that, ladies. I'm going to go head off and do some amazing, oh my God, of course, the construction is still going on. I was like, has it just finished? Of course I finished this. I'm going to go do a whole pile of soul-aligned work today. I'm so fucking excited. But I'm so excited for the next 3 days with Kiara. Okay, I'm going to pop this podcast up ASAP. So it'll probably be up before even Bold Leap Live starts, or the day of the start of it. And if you are at Bold Leap Live, make sure that you come like talk to me. People sometimes think I'm intimidating because I'm a type 8 Enneagram. I'm not intimidating at all. Oh, wait, maybe I am. Actually, type 8 Enneagrams, I know you guys want me to do stuff on Enneagrams. Type 8 Enneagrams tend to come across as bitchy and very intimidating. That's like just, I don't know, it's just like a thing with type 8s. And everyone that I've talked to that's a type 8 is the same thing. So please come up, because I'm super fucking normal. And actually, I'm not normal, but like I'm normal at the same time, whatever. Just come up and say hello, because I'm also, like I actually said to Kiara before before this whole manifestation happened, when we were talking, I was like, will you be doing one in September when I come back to New York? Because I just want to like come and meet friends. Like I just want to make friends. So I just want to make friends, right, ladies? So come and say hello to me. Everyone have an incredible day wherever you are. I hope that this episode was juicy. Please make sure that you share it in your Instagram stories so that I can share, that I can say thank you, and that I can repost it. And so more girls can learn about this stuff and just like know that this is all like fucking normal, authentic, real shit. And it's actually so effing easy if you do the work. Like you do the work once and then it becomes effing easy. And this never used to be like this to me. I never used to be able to manifest things out of thin air. So I just want to pop that disclaimer in of like, I never used to manifest things out of thin air, and now I can. So everybody can do it. Because I used to be so disheartened seeing other people manifest all this shit. I was like, why the fuck is my manifestation not working? But then I figured it all out, and now it's working. All right, ladies, I will talk to you so soon. Look out for part 2. I'll pop that up as soon as I can. Bye. Well, thank you again for tuning in and listening to my podcast. I hope that you got lots of nuggets out of today's show. Please, I would be really grateful if you could leave me a review so that more women can find the podcast, and therefore I can help more women understand their period and fix their period problems. Because after all, it's a much nicer life to live when we actually love our cycle, because we do have to keep up with it every single month. Also, if you have any friends or loved ones that you think will enjoy my podcast, I'd be super grateful if you could send it to them as well, just to share the love. And that's it for now, so I will catch you on the flip side. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are.